Then we have next topic, which is organization, performance, and position. Whenever you use the word performance and position, performance means, P&L I'm talking about. And position means SOFP, statement of financial position I'm talking about. Performance means ability to make profit, and position means the balance, the relationship between assets and liabilities. So when we say that our performance is not good, it means that our profitability is not good. Nothing wrong with the balance sheet. Performance is related to income statement. I might say that our performance is very good, but it does not mean that we don't have liabilities. Liabilities is a separate thing on the balance sheet. So two things you need to understand. The word performance means related to income statement. It is likely that in your exam paper, you will be required to analyze data and draw conclusions about an organization's performance over a period of time. Performance means profitability and its current position. Position means, assets, liability, gearing, debt, equity stuff. This may well involve analyzing a wide range of data, including financial ratios, non-financial key performance indicators, and qualitative data. So quantitative as well as quantitative in form of ratio analysis, etc. It is vital that your analysis draws links between the different performance indicators and any background information you have. Now that's very interesting, okay? Background information you have. This will be a test of your commercial awareness and ability to think on your feet. Now, listen, I have seen that sometimes students they have done interpretation of financial. This is actually this topic is about interpretation of financial statements, okay, which is a pain point for F7 students, how to do interpretation. Sometimes they say, okay, this is my, let's suppose I'm just giving you an example, current ratio, okay? I'll use the word current ratio. In first year, it was 1.5. In 2010, let's call it, or 2019, or in 2020, the current ratio became, 1.8, let's suppose. It has improved. Or let's call it, it was 2.5, now it is 1.8. Or maybe you say that your net profit ratio was, I don't know, 17%, and now it has become 13%. It has also gone down, let's suppose. Because in most cases, it's not a rule, but I know that ACCA always gives a deteriorating situation. They are never interpreting a situation becoming good. They are usually interpreting a situation becoming bad. And that's where you walk in. Because if everything is going good, you are kind of relaxed. We have to step in, and take the role of firefighter when things start going worse. So now, interpretation is not like this, that last year our current ratio was 2.5, this year it is 1.8, it is not good. Interpretation finished. Or last year our profitability was 17%, this year it is 13%, it is very bad. Interpretation finished. This is not interpretation. This is just you are writing it in a simple sentence. You need to understand why. Because it is not possible that nothing has changed and these numbers have changed. Numbers change only when some number is a reflection of a reality. This number 1.8 or this number 13%, it is the reflection of the real events which were taking place. Okay, all the real events in the business, they were translated into your financial statements, and financial statements were converted into the ratios. So this 13% is actually represents the series of events which have taken place during last 1 year. And that's why it has gone down. So you need to find out the reason why it has gone down. Why? Maybe there is a downturn in economy. Maybe there is, how to say, a new project you have launched and that project is making loss. Maybe a new product you have launched and that product is not doing good. Maybe there are some other technological issues. Maybe market is becoming competitive and selling prices have gone down and your cost structures you were unable to align. Your revenue is same, your revenue is declining, but cost is same. Like you were selling 1,000 units before and you are selling 1,000 units now, but before you were selling 1,000 units at $50, now you are selling 1,000 units at $45. So your revenues are declining, but your costs are same. So profits naturally will go down. You need to align the cost as well. If revenue is going down, cost should also go less so that you get the same number. So you definitely, the question gives you some clue that what is happening, what are the changes happening in the market. You are starting a new product, you are starting a new project, maybe a new competitor has come in, maybe the market trend has changed, maybe the economy has gone down, maybe there are some more taxes, maybe raw materials have gone up. What has happened? I mean, if you come to me and say last year I made 17%, this year I made 13%, I would, first thing I ask you, why? You need to find out that why it has gone down. And then you also cannot tell me why and walk out of the room. You should tell me, what to do now. Okay, don't come and tell me it is 13%, it is very bad, let's sit down and cry. What should we do now? Tell me a way forward, okay? How to make it up. So first I analyze that, okay, so I've got the numbers. Based on these numbers, I know that there is some problem. I identify the problem and then I also give the solution. You cannot just put five problems on my table. I mean, I've got 20, 50, 40, 100 people reporting to me, and everybody comes and puts the problems on my table. You see, these are the problem in production. These are the problem in logistics. These are the problems in warehousing. These are the problems in sales. These are the problems in finance. Don't tell me problems only. Tell me the problem and the solution. Okay. So, uh, identification of problem and solution, these two things are linked up. So, when you do interpretation thing, in many cases, they would only say analyze. So, if they say analyze, then you find out the number and you give why. Sometimes they say analyze and comment or suggest whatever, then I say what to do. The problem, this is the problem, what should I do? Because they say analyze and suggest. So it depends on the requirement. But of course, 13% you will never stop. One, you have to find out why it has gone down. Because if the market is same, if everything is same, then my profit should also be same. If nothing changed, then my profit should also not changed. If my profit has changed, it means that something has changed. That something could be a key management personnel has gone out. Your sales director has left. Okay. And that sales director has taken away the sales. Probably that could be the reason. Maybe your equipment has failed. And because of your failing equipment, your production capacity has gone down, and lower production because you have old equipment and your equipment is failing on routine basis and production is going down. That could be a reason. So please tell me the reason and then we move forward. So this is this part. It's an important part. Listen, recording the financials, the recording the transactions, like you guys are accounting and finance guys, putting the debit and credit is not my objective. This is part of the process, but it is not my objective. You make the data entry, thank you very much, but the job doesn't finish here. Show me the financial statements. You prepare the financial statements and put it on my table. Job is not done. What do I do with that? Read it and tell me, how are we doing? Okay, we are doing good, we are doing bad. Now tell me, what are the problems? It is not possible that your business does not have a problem area, because you might have 17% last year and you might have 21% this year. It does not mean again that you can go and sleep, because I cannot imagine that there is no problem at all in the business. There might be problems, maybe not here, somewhere else. Find out the problems and then you come up with the problems, and then again your job is not finished. Now tell me the solutions. You tell me the solutions. Oh, these are the solutions. Again your job is not finished. Go and implement it. And you implement it, and then you tell me that what could be the results after implementation. Your job is not finished. You come back again and show me the results next year and show me that if you have achieved it or not. So this is like the purpose of this entire process. You just cannot say, okay, this is income statement, I'm going home. It doesn't happen. So it starts with recording of data, preparation of financial statements. We make commentary. We call it commentary in professional life, like you call it interpretation of financial statements in your academic life, but in work life, we call it commentary. You make a commentary on your financial statements. Make comments. Where are the problems? Tell me the solutions. And by the way, if you are a professional manager, you cannot tell me the solutions only, because there could be three possible solutions. Okay, I've got a problem. Problem is like my machinery is old and machinery breakdown is happening and production is going down. What is the solution? We have three options. We can buy it, we can lease it, we can repair it, or we can totally outsource the work. Four options. Don't put four options on my table. Tell me what to do. So you make a comparison that if you do this, this is the result. If you lease it, this is the result. If you repair it, this is the result. If you outsource the work, this is the result. So not only that you will tell me the four solutions, you will also tell me my choices, leasing the equipment. I am in favor of leasing the equipment. Like you give solutions and you also give recommendations. So fine, I'm interested in listening. You say leasing. Why should we lease it? You tell me. So then you start telling me the pros and cons of leasing, and I understand if everything makes sense, I would say, okay, I'll sign this thing. Or probably I would require that make a comparison of buy. Tell me if I don't lease, if I buy, then what will happen? So you show me the results, and then again I see the pros and cons, and I say, okay, go for leasing. So it's not like identification of problem, solutions, recommendation. All these things will go. I always say that identify and quantify. And by the way, this is not in a book. This is my consulting principle. I always say you can write it down. This term, you would not find it anywhere. Identify. This is what you are supposed to do. Quantify and rectify. Identification, the work doesn't finish. First, identify the problem, then quantify the problem. Maybe the problem is so little that we don't need to spend or invest our time on that. Let it be like this. I know that there are some problems in my system, but they are so petty issues that I just keep on ignoring them because the cost benefit analysis does not allow me to focus on these little things. Let it be like this. I've got, this nail, and I feel some pain in my nail. I know it is not good, but I can live with that pain, no problem. But if I have a pain in my tooth, I cannot sleep. I go to the dentist immediately. Okay. Maybe I can go to the dentist after 1 week. This I can wait for 1 month, no problem. This I can wait for 5 days, no problem. But if my heart skips a beat, if my heart skips a beat today, or it skipped a beat in the morning, I should go to the doctor today. I cannot say that I know that there is some problem with my heart, I will go next month. The same happens in businesses. You have different products, different processes, and not everything is working fine. You identify there are so many problems. You need to prioritize which are your core areas, which are your key performance indicators depend on, and which areas are crucial for you. And you pick up these ones and you ignore these ones. Okay. So you have to make the list of problems and then prioritize them. Prioritize them. We don't have resources to solve everything. Next is our cost and management accounting.